Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and we're against the Electric High Score event. So, obviously, the way this event works, you use more electric types, you get more points. The more points you have, the more rewards you get, and the more points you get, you also rank higher on this ranking thing here. I don't think there is another medal for this, so I think we're fine there. But we do have the rewards here, again, for getting more points. 180,000 points is probably the maximum for your best rewards. I would like to get a support candy coin. Oh, I already have 20. Never mind. Never mind. Guess I can already exchange. But let's see. So Surge, we cannot heal. That's not really any different, really. There's no rules for Volkner, which is good. Damage taken by unaffected opponents is significantly reduced. Do they have paralysis immunity? I hope not. I'm gonna have to find that out really quickly. 5 stats. Okay, tech characters you cannot bring into. So Clement here and Marnie, you can only use special attackers. And the rule details, we've got time trial, stat decreases. That's great because I've used a classic Elesa, that's very good. And fewer attacks, the fewer total time all allied single players land attacks, the higher score you can obtain. I guess that's like good for like nuking, to where you can nuke really high and just use as few attacks as possible, but honestly I don't know how you're going to really manage that parameter. That parameter kind of sucks. Is there any, oh yeah, challenge, okay, paralyze one or more times, so you get 1,000 points for that, and then Unova and Alola characters, so, okay, wait, Alola? Okay, that makes me think they wanted to bring... Okay, this really is making me think they should have brought Signasuit How back as alongside Classic Elesa. Because Alola? Why Alola? The only Alola electric characters is like Sophocles. Maybe some alts I can't think of at the moment. But mostly just Sophocles. And Signasuit How. And normal How. So like, why would you not bring back Signasuit How? Right? Whatever. Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and record the runs for the electric type high score event. You won't really get my first reaction on all of this probably. And I don't know, but yeah, whatever. Let's go ahead on to the battles. I'm only going for 180,000 points because I already have the medal. So yeah, I'll see you all in the first battle. Alright, here is our first battle. We have versus Clement here. We've got Sonia and the main character in Pikachu. Probably used a little bit too many potion characters here. I would say I definitely used too many potion characters here. But this was the first battle I did, so I mean, you know, it's kind of warranted. If I was smart, I'd probably redo a lot of these battles, change a lot of the team compositions, and I could probably get higher points. But I don't need them. I already have 180,000 points, or well, over 180,000 points, so I don't really need to. But this was a pretty decent battle to give me a good idea of how difficult this event is, I guess. I mean... and here, used that 1 out of 5. I did have to EX him for this in order to get the win, because damaging sides is the most important thing you can do here. Like an AoE move, or, you know, an AoE sync move, stuff like that. Being able to hit all enemies, very, very good ability, in some fashion, however you can do it. Because these sides, if you worry about the middle, which generally you do, you're going to deal with the sides, and the sides can end up becoming a massive problem. So you got to be prepared to deal with that and all of that, right? So it could be a pretty big problem for you. But thankfully, and Striker, you know, Striker Sync Nuke is able to deal damage to the sides, and they end up becoming a small problem later. So that just kind of further reinforces my idea that, you know, you need to be able to do AoE damage, or be able to damage the sides in some effective way. Sadly did not crit on that Sync move, which is annoying. So yeah, we do get debuffs with Sonia on the defense, which helps N's damage, as well as giving us more points from the, you know, lower stats parameter, and all of that, as well as N being a Unova character, so we get extra points from that, and of course, all electric characters, you know, being able to abuse parameters, and, you know, all of that, and get, you know, more points depending on how many stat debuffs you get, more Unova Alola characters you bring, electric characters you bring, you know, the less time you take in battle, or whatever the parameters are. Super valuable stuff and whatnot, right? So you got to be prepared to, you know, deal with that. Thankfully, we're able to do a pretty solid first battle here, get about 40,000 points pretty easily as well. I'm not super worried about being super efficient. This is definitely not the most efficient way to do any of these battles, but it's able to get net me the, you know, 180,000 points, give me the rewards that I want because I already have the medal. And yeah, I think that's what most players should focus on. The medal is just kind of an accessory, tells you that, you know, you're willing to go the extra mile to get that medal and whatnot. It's not required, of course, for any like normal player who doesn't really care much about that. So, you know, keep that in mind. Sadly, we're not able to KO the Electric Buzz here with the Bolt Strike, but we are able to KO with the Thunderbolt, so yeah. This is a pretty close battle since Anne and Sonia both went down. but main character took him down with a Thunderbolt, and we still had the endurance, so we could rely on that if we needed to. But yeah, pretty efficient, pretty easy battle for the most part. Notice those 46,000 points there gave us a lot of, rewards and whatnot. I think players should definitely focus for those 180,000 points. If you can't go for 180,000, just go as many as you can. Obviously, just get as many points and rewards as you can. It'll be, your best bet. I'd say the best thing you could probably do is bring a bunch of Striker EXs and bring as many points as you can, honestly. If you can't do a lot of electric characters here like I use, then just change your points around, or change your teams around to have very strong characters, and just smash through the enemy even if it's not electric type characters, which yeah, that'll lose a lot of points, but being able to use more strength parameters will net you more points and whatnot. Also, a lot of these characters don't have lucky skills, I've noticed, but I did go around yesterday and max all of my electric characters' theme skills, so I was unable to, I was able to deal with that. But anyway, that's the battle versus Elesa, not too bad, or not Elesa, Clement. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, here is our second battle. It is against Marnie. This one was pretty RNG dependent, honestly, but I got to use Sigma Suit Elesa, so I'm not very mad about that. Marnie's problem is that you can't use physical damage dealers, which is most of the electric type scene for the most part, right? Like you've got BP Sophocles, you've got Elesa, you've got Sigma Suit Thunderbolt Red. Big problem was that there was 0 special electric attackers, obviously with Ash now, so it's not that big of a problem, but the big problem before, we had no electric special attackers. It was normal How, who was mid. I don't even think he had a grid. Actually, no, he had a grid, but he didn't have his EX yet, so he was pretty mediocre. Classic Elesa, who hadn't rerun at the point, it was back a little bit around her initial release, and New York. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. New York Volkner, who was decent on type. But other than that, we were pretty, down bad for electric special attackers. So now that we have more, it's a lot better, but I find myself still having a little bit of problems because I don't have Ash, for one, and just, this is my special setup here. I've got How, I've got Elesa, Sigma Suit Elesa with Thunderbolt, and then I've just got the BP Clement here in order to heal, apply defense debuffs, which is good, accuracy buffs, so at least actually lands thunder, and everything else right. Obviously, Sigma Suit How is our big method of doing damage here. So once the electric terrain went out, it was really good, so, Marnie didn't just obliterate us with more P.E.K.K.A, right? Because I had electric terrain active in one of my test runs. She one-shot my entire team with 1,000 damage, no crit on everyone. that was fun. But thankfully, electric terrain being able to go out is good for not taking damage, but it's bad because now our electric moves are going to do ass damage, right? But thankfully, because of the Fairy Wish, we can activate our buddy Electro Webs again, so we can get in some relatively solid damage, but we are missing out on the damage from electric terrain, so as you can see, not as great damage as it was before. But we're able to get the same move in here. We're able to use Sigma Suit Elesa here for side DPS with Thunder, which is honestly pretty underrated, as well as Spark with Magneton, though it was to a lesser extent, obviously, because physical attacker, but it was helpful nonetheless, I guess. There we go, got our last buddy Electro Web in there, and then after that, we pretty much have to start going for literally going for Dazzling Gleam. We land this last buddy Electro Web, we get our last one queued in here. Actually, we may KO. Oh yeah, no, we KO with this buddy Electro Web, but I've had it before to where Dazzling Gleam was my only other option left for DPS. So that wasn't fun. Oh yeah, see, didn't KO the Raichu, so we have to deal with Dazzling Gleam for DPS. Not fun, but we're able to win nonetheless. It's not really too big of a problem. And we're able to get in, of course, speed debuffs with How here. Probably could have gone for some defense debuffs with Clement, but, I didn't. I'm not really too worried about it either. It's a minor problem. So, yeah. It was fun, though. I got to use Sigma Suit Elesa. That was really fun for me. Being able to use any Elesa character in these fights is just so fun for me, man. I enjoy it so much. It's just awesome. Let's see, yeah, okay, so that was against Marnie. I'll go ahead and show off the grids now. Sigma Suit Elesa is mostly just having really nothing, honestly. I probably could have gone for a Thunder DPS grid, but I didn't need to. But maybe I should have, honestly. I just went for a Hostile Environment one, though, so oh well. I feel a better lucky skill for How there is probably Head Start 1, but anyway, yeah. Sigma Suit Elesa, if you get Breathtaking on a trainer move, very good for this battle. Getting extra sync count down as fast as possible is very nice. Anyway, yeah, that was the battle versus Marnie. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Alright, here is our third battle, I guess, against Lieutenant Surge. I didn't get to show off the team because I'm too trigger happy when choosing the points. Whatever. We got Classic Elesa, Lodge Elesa, and we've got normal Sophocles here. Sophocles was good for the flinches. That was mostly it, honestly. And we started to have gauge problems with this team towards the end, but thankfully, we've got Elisa's grid, Classic Elisa's grid, so we're able to do a ton of nuking damage, get a ton of debuffs in there, and honestly, it was pretty big deciding factor for getting us that win, right? These flinches were very, very nice towards the end as well. It pretty much, sealed our victory. Not so much against the beginning here, because they, for some reason, like to go for trainer moves, man. And we obviously, we keep flinching on their trainer moves, so it's just annoying, but it's whatever, right? It's not really too big of a problem. 5 out of 5 Classic Elesa, her Poke Fertiles. So good for this because we get to set up that electric terrain, get our max move up in a little bit here, and do some good damage with the max move. Very, very nice. Sadly, we cannot KO one of the sides with the max move. Probably should have done some debuffing to the sides in order to do that, but I didn't, so oh well. Not too bad overall, though. The extra power play, no, was very, very good. We went ahead and went for the max move here in order to get in some just free damage and all of that. Probably should have debuffed the side before I did it, but I didn't because whatever. This battle's like 4 minutes long though, so we definitely, I don't think we got that record to where we use as little moves as possible, or I guess attacking moves as possible. Oops, but whatever. I don't think they get a sync move off here. I'm pretty sure we have debuffed them so bad, so bad. Let's confirm that. I don't think they survived that. I don't think they do. Yeah. Great nuke now, finally. They finally gave Classic Elesa a great nuke. I'm so happy. The showcase for that will come out tomorrow, not today, because I want to be able to focus on some other things I gotta do today. But it'll be out tomorrow, so no big problem. And there we go. See, these are where the flinches started to come in really handy. Flinches were super good for this, able to get us, no damage taken, seal our fate, as well as the paralysis was very good as well. The AoE damage from the Buddy Electro Web was very nice as well. And now we're pretty much just kind of stalling until we're able to take out that Electrode. So that's fun. Not very fun, but whatever. And the flinches from Sophocles were super clutch here, honestly. I'd say Sophocles is one of the more underrated options for this event because his ability to flinch is just so good, as well as having the ability to buff his own speed, buff his special defense as well, so it can be relatively bulky. Pretty useful, honestly. Flinching, sadly, not the best ability in this fight, just because they gain resistance to it pretty much instantly, and it wears off a lot later into the fight to where it becomes a lot less useful, but, you're able to still make use of it in certain scenarios, and it works out pretty well. They go for another discharge. They, I think, miss all of them, which is insane, but hey, I ain't gonna complain. 17,000 damage, no crit nuke. I will take it, man. I will take it. So that was fun. I love that. Love being able to use Elisa's on the same team as well, honestly. This is just fun for me. This is a field day for me. Being able to use like 4 out of the 5 Elesa units all together and just get a win and, use them effectively. Very fun for me. Very fun. As well as facing Elesa. Honestly, you'll see what I'll mention in a little bit, but whatever. That fight with Elesa was kind of made me upset, but no real problem there. So yeah, here are the grids and whatnot. As I said, we got our Poke Fertiles for Classic Elesa. The 5 out of 5 was very, very good for this. Probably could have done it without the 5 out of 5, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to test that theory, so I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there are the grids. Let's move on to the next battle. Again, no lucky skills, but yeah, let's move on to the battle versus Elesa. Alright, here we are versus Elesa. We get to use Volkner, normal Elesa, as well as BP Lieutenant Surge. Only thing that went wrong this battle was, well, quite a few things. I queued up some moves in weird orders and whatnot. I kind of, panicked, I guess, a little bit, but that wasn't really the problem. My problem is that Elesa has these voice lines that we don't get to make use of in the game. Come on, that honestly upset me. Being able to hear these voice lines is nice, but like, come on, I want to listen to them in game. So annoying, but whatever. I guess that's just me being a Elesa fan, having my nitpicks. But whatever, it was fine. This battle overall was not really problematic. We were able to have some good fun here. Elisa's, nuke is very, very good. This battle is the one where you need to have the enemy have a stats condition. That was a math sentence. But then we need the status condition or status change in order to actually take damage. So this first nuke here does, yeah, it's are all of them hit with a status condition? I actually don't think the left side is. Is it? No. Yeah, okay, the left side did have a status condition. I didn't remember. But we had a lot of opportunities to get, paralysis in here. Volkner has a 50% chance. Elisa's got a 30% chance with Spark, and we've got Thunder Wave with Lieutenant Surge. So a lot of good opportunities there. We do have to wait until they land their sync move in order to reset up Electric Terrain, because otherwise they'll just nuke us into oblivion. Because this nuke did relatively decent damage anyway, so we had to be careful of that. I queue up the Electric Terrain there, and then use the nuke here. Do a lot of good damage, right? So yeah, how much would this have done if Electric Terrain was active? Way too fucking much. We were able to first aid 4 though. That was honestly pretty satisfying to see, because I forgot I had Elesa gridded with first aid 4, so yeah. This isn't, by the way, very late for me to say this, but this was not meant to be like a guide video or anything to the high score event. This is just my personal clears for anybody who's interested. You could probably make some ideas for teams using this and the information you obtained from this video, but don't use it as like a reference to actually, do teams with, right? Because obviously I'm not expecting people to have like 5 out of 5 classic Elesa, especially, or every Elesa EX'd, 5 out of 5 level 150. I'm not expecting any of that. I'm just doing my runs personally. This is just how I'm doing them, not really trying to showcase anything. And we're able to finish off with the double wild charge from Volkner and Elesa. Not too bad. We get our 180,000 points right here. So literally our next battle is just points for the sake of getting points, and I guess a higher rank. So honestly, yeah, I think this is probably the highest. Well, I've only ever had 2 opportunities to do a high score event, so again, I guess not really too much to say there, but this is probably, pretty sure 200, about 15,000 was the points I got total. I think that's the highest I gotten, like, on a first attempt. So obviously only 2 times, but this is, still the highest, right? Did not have a lucky skill for Lieutenant Surge, surprisingly enough. I didn't remember not giving him a lucky skill, but oh well, I'll probably have to do it later. I'm out of crunchy cookies, though. Obviously, he would want Vigilance, so it's irrelevant, but still, I'm out of crunchy cookies, man. So if any striker or, like, damage dealer needs a cookie, they ain't getting the crunchy cookies. They're not getting Crunch Strike 2, unless I really like you. It's my god, I am poor. Anyway, yeah, that was the battle versus Volkner. Let's move on to the next one, final battle, and yeah, I'll give my overview then. Alright, here is the final battle versus Volkner. 250 points as, or I guess, 250 strength options, I guess? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We've got Lieutenant Surge here with the EX, as well as Clement and Holiday Jasmine. Holiday Jasmine was so good for this. Her bulk is just so amazing. So it cannot be underrated. As well as, of course, being able to apply endurance to everybody. That was so good as well, even though I didn't have to use it, which is very, very nice. Big thing with this battle is that they use discharge a fuckload, so you've got to worry about the paralysis. That's why I changed around Lieutenant Surge's grid to have lift, so that was very nice. Jasmine and Clement, I'm pretty sure I just lived with it, but that's also why I'm using Mud Slap here to debuff its accuracy, just so we can get the debuff parameter in for extra points, as well as, potentially not have to worry about discharge taking, doing for 1 damage and 2 paralyzing us, which is even worse, because I had it wherever they were getting paralyzed. Every 3 out of 4 attacks would be, either miss or the paralysis would just activate. It would be so annoying, right? It would be so annoying, couldn't do anything, had to reset, super bad. But if you're able to, debuff their accuracy and whatnot, you don't have to deal with that problem. So that's why I focused a lot on debuffing accuracy here. There we go. See, we got paralyzed on Jasmine. See, that could be a big problem, but obviously it's only Jasmine, so it's nothing super major. That's why I didn't just reset instantly. Would have liked to use Parabolic Charge or Electro Web a lot more in this battle for the debuffs, like AoE debuffs and whatnot, but couldn't because I need to, debuff accuracy. I also started to debuff the Luxury's accuracy towards the end of the battle, just so I wouldn't have to worry about it, using Giga Impact Wild Charge, these high power moves, and potentially KOing Jasmine. So the Mud Slap is very good for that. See, -5 accuracy on Volkner here. You're going to want to debuff its accuracy with Clement if you plan to use a similar setup here. I think the strategy works relatively well. Jasmine's bulk is great, applying endurance as well as defensive buffs with her trainer move. The special moves next does not matter. I'm pretty sure I changed the grid for it. Catalyst was good whenever I Mega Evolved her, so that was good for the temporary time it was activated. And then, you know, I used Clement here just to spam Mud Slap and whatnot. He does have Mind Games, though honestly that's not even important, I would say, not in this battle. The extra, you know, special defense debuffs are nice for, you know, the nuke with Surge, but nothing super required. The potions, of course, with Jasmine were nice as well. I don't think I needed too many potion NPRs. I did get a lot, but I don't think I needed any, at least not as many as I actually, you know, had. So, yeah. This battle was a lot longer, though, for sure. I don't think I ended up healing Clement there. I'm pretty sure I start spamming Parabolic Charge so I can actually, like, deal sufficient damage. See, 15,000 damage there on the nuke. Very good, as well as being able to heal up a lot with Clement there for himself. Very nice. We don't have to use, you know, Jasmine potions and whatnot. Don't have to waste those, which is very, very good. We can just, you know, save those for a lot later because we are going to need them. And as you can see, spamming Discharge, just keeps absolutely spamming the move. I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, got to debuff these sides here. Obviously, we have to use the Eerie Impulse. This is very late into the discussion, I know, but we got to use the Eerie Impulses a lot on these sides in the middle in order to, you know, one, reduce special damage, which is a big one, as well as, of course, activate the Devastation multipliers for, you know, Lieutenant Surge here. If I was smart, probably wouldn't have gone for that Thunderbolt, but I was not sure we would be able to KO the middle. Thankfully, we were able to KO the middle before they got in their sync move. Their, I guess, second sync move, which is very nice. And as you can see, this is where things become a problem because the Luxray starts using Giga Impact. Big, powerful move. Not good for us, right? As well as I'm pretty sure it has like recoil removal or stand fast fucking 11 or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, you gotta be careful of that. That's why we're going for the Mud Slaps here in order to debuff its accuracy and whatnot, and the Eerie Impulses in order to activate Surge's nuke, because his nuke is the fastest way to KO it. We just have to, you know, get to our next sync move just as fast as possible. That's the only real goal. And the potions, we get a lot of NPRs here, though you shouldn't really need them all that much. Only the first, like, 1 or 2 is really only necessary in order to get all the potions and heals that we need in. The Giga Impact there misses, and you know, that's why we need those accuracy debuffs, so we can reduce that damage. Especially if Jasmine were to somehow go down in that battle, no one else would be able to take those Giga Impacts at all. So, being able to make sure we were able to was very, very nice. And yeah, we were able to win there with Lieutenant Surge. I already had him EX'd before. Sadly, he was not much use when I EX'd him initially. 215,000 points, very nice. But whatever. He was very good. His EX was very good for this battle, so I ain't gonna complain too much. Also, of course, got all of our codexes, our tomes, our gems, and everything. Very nice. And of course, all of the rewards. So yeah, there we go. That was the complete total annihilation of the Electric High Score event. Here are the grids, and I'll go into a little bit of an overview afterwards, I guess. So yeah, here is the stuff and whatnot. Obviously, all of them have max theme skills, and obviously here are the sync grids as well. I did go for, again, Lith with Surge, so we were able to, you know, guarantee it so we didn't have to get paralyzed by those fray discharges. Friggin' things were annoying. And again, Mind Games too on Clement, though realistically, if you have no, you know, if you have nothing on him as it is with the lucky skills, I would probably give him Lith for that battle, just to make sure he doesn't get paralyzed. Jasmine, Vigilance, of course, as normal, and the potions, Catalyst, Train with NPR, probably the best grid. Anyway, yeah, that was the teams for the Volkner battle. Let's go ahead, move on, and look at the points. Alright, so looking at the points overall, 36,000 points on Volkner, definitely the least amount of points overall, but I'm going to guess that's because we didn't have a single Unova or a Lola character. Let's see, it was a very long battle, so that definitely reduced our points. So, you know, the fewer attacks and whatnot did not happen. And time trial, of course, we did not have time trial. It did not happen. Stat decreases was good, though, because of Clement, so that was nice. Anyway, what was our overall ranking here? This is the first day of the event, so it'll be a little bit higher than normal, I guess. Yeah, Master 2,266. Yeah, I probably will stay within the top 10. I'm guessing? Maybe. I don't know. I probably could, probably will. I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to be into this, you know, fight and whatnot. Does make sense, though. Yeah, does make sense. The medal, I already have it, so no new medal, thankfully. I don't have to go for extra higher points. But this is obviously my battles, and I don't have New Year's. Not New York. I do not have New Year's Volkner. I don't have Ash. I don't have Cygnus Suit Thunderbolt Red. I don't have these pretty powerful characters. I've got obviously a lot of Elesas, But that's about, the extent of the electric characters I have. I obviously don't have Neo Champion Blue either, so I'm missing a very good support there. A lot of characters I don't have that, I was still able to get a lot of points with anyway, so if it means anything to you, let it be an inspiration or something, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, 2,265 as my master score. I'll take it. I will take that. I don't really care that much about ranking in the top 10,000, though it would be nice, I guess. I don't know. I already have the medal, though, so it doesn't really matter too much. If you're going to go for that medal, have fun. Good luck. This was my battles for the Electric High Score event. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, this is not a tutorial, so don't use it as like a guide of reference or anything like that. I did get lucky. I had to do a couple, re-rolls and whatnot, so keep all of that in mind. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Good luck on your battle against the Electric High Score event. Let me know what your score was down in the comments below.